I'm an infant. I just learned how to walk. And you're telling me like it's gonna be difficult to book me because I'm old? I wouldn't say that I'm full of myself, but yeah, I'm pretty full of myself. Automatically, that's a red flag for me. Hey guys, welcome back to the model Q&A. The video was getting so long I had to split it into 2 parts, but if this is your first time here, go back and watch part 1 and then come back to this video. For all my new viewers, my name is Thomasina and I'm a model and content creator amongst other things living in New York City, and on my channel I mostly share lifestyle vlogs and I also give tips, tricks, and hacks on how to move to New York City and how to become a model if that's something that you're interested in. But enough with the introductions, let's jump right back into the Q&A. Someone asked, would you recommend applying to traditional mother agencies for development if you have no experience besides local fashion weeks? Just to give a quick definition, if you're not familiar with what a mother agency actually is, a mother agency is basically like your manager. They are the person that is controlling the trajectory of the rest of your career. So you sign with a mother agent and they are responsible for signing you to other agencies in your town or internationally. The mother agency usually splits commission with any of the other agencies they sign you to. So let's say you have a mother agency and they get you signed to Ford Models. Once you start booking work with Ford Models will then split their commission with your mother agency. So that's how your mother agency gets paid. Again, your mother agent is responsible for advancing your career and really getting your face out there and submitting you to other agencies so that you don't have to do the work yourself. If you sign with a good mother agency, most of the time they already have the connections, and so it would be easier for you to get signed with a bigger agency with the mother agent as opposed to if you just applied yourself. It seems like they're asking if I recommend applying to a mother agency for the purposes of development if you are inexperienced. You can apply to any agency. Most of the time, the first agency that you sign with or the first agency that offers you a contract, if you don't already have a mother agency, that agent that offered you the contract will offer to represent you also as a mother agent, so then they would be responsible for getting you signed to other agencies. So really it doesn't matter. I guess it just depends on what you want out of your career and what success you've been having thus far. If you find that you've been applying to all these other like random agencies and you're not getting any responses back, maybe it would be a good thing to then go look for a mother agency so that they can do all that legwork for you and so that they can utilize their connections to get your foot in the door. For example, the first agency that I signed with here in New York City, my first contract, they were representing me as my mother agent. When I applied to them, I was not applying to them for them to be my mother agency. I was just applying to them for it to be like a regular agency, but because it was my first agency that offered me the contract and I was not represented by any other agency, they took on the role as my mother agent. I hope that makes sense. The mother agency versus like regular agency thing can be a bit confusing even for people that are already in the industry. If you feel like you're doing a pretty good job getting responses from regular agencies without having a mother agent, then cut out the middleman and you don't really need a mother agency. But if you feel like a mother agent will help advance your career further than you could on your own, then definitely try reaching out to some mother agencies. And you can find a list of mother agents on models.com also. Someone asked, what do you do to prevent or reduce the appearance of fine lines? I don't have fine lines yet because I'm still a baby. So yeah, I haven't experienced fine lines yet, but from what I know, my best friend's an esthetician, and from what I know from going to the dermatologist and my esthetician is that incorporating a retinol in your routine generally across the board reduces fine lines, wrinkles, aging, all of that stuff. The one that I use, I think it's the Inky List. The one little bottle that I have has lasted me for like 2 years now and it's very inexpensive. So I like the Inky List retinol, but I also have a prescribed tretinoin that I use that also serves as a retinol. Don't use both at the same time, but regardless, incorporating a retinol into your routine helps target those fine lines and wrinkles. I personally use it for acne because again, I don't have the fine lines yet, but I know down the line it will definitely contribute to that too. I'm not a licensed esthetician, so these are just tips that I've learned from hearsay that I've learned from seeing my own esthetician. But again, you should definitely go see a licensed professional so that they can give you their expertise, their professional opinion. How do I maintain my measurements? I work out. So if I maybe had a slow month where I wasn't working out as much as I should have been, and I see my tummy getting a little wide, or I see my butt getting a little wide, I'm in the gym heavy. I'm in the gym heavy, and usually I can drop inches off my waist or hips within the span of like a week to 2 weeks if I'm in the gym heavy consistently. So yeah, just working out, also maintaining a pretty healthy diet. I have an issue of like going out to eat a lot, and when I go out to eat, I'm not ordering a salad. I'm ordering like the most greasiest, cheesiest thing on the menu a lot of times. So in order to maintain my measurements, personally, I have to stay in the gym. This is a really good question and a really important question. Someone asked, what did you look for in an agency, or how did you know you found the right fit? Before the pandemic, it was common for people to attend agencies in person. They were going to things called open calls, where agencies open their doors and it was like a free-for-all. Anybody could come, bring their pictures, whatever, and be seen by the agencies and potentially get scouted. So from doing those, you can definitely tell the energy of the room. Some agencies, you walk in, and if you're not tall enough, if you're not skinny enough, if you don't have a particular look, they won't even look you in the eye. They'll look at you for like 2 seconds. They're like, oh, okay, like have a good day, like that's it. Some agencies, you walk in and all the workers are like head down on their laptops, like not talking to anyone. It's just like a very dark and gloomy environment. Like it looks like people do not enjoy working there. Automatically, that's a red flag for me. For example, the first agency I ever signed with here in New York, when I went to their office in person for the first time ever, immediately I liked the vibes. I was greeted, everyone's like, hey, hello, how are you? Everyone in the room spoke, everyone looked at me directly in the eye, super friendly. They just made time for me. In this industry, you will find that people feel like they are too busy to give their time to anyone. They're too busy to give you a response. They're too busy to give you a rejection. They're too busy for this, too busy for that. So if you go to an agency, or you meet with an agency and they give you the time of day, automatically a good sign. If they don't, automatically a red flag. Or if they're rushing you, they seem like they're in a hurry, like, yeah, you have a lot of people on your board and I get it, like you got to get these things done, but treat people like human beings, okay? You set this appointment with me, you scheduled this with me, that means you have the time, act accordingly. I also always like to ask like if I'm thinking about signing with an agency, or if I'm thinking about applying to an agency, I always like to ask models that are already signed to that agency what their experience has been like. So I want to know, are you guys working? Are you booked and busy? Do you get a lot of castings? How is the communication with the bookers? Do you get paid on time, or are they waiting like 5, 10, 16 months to give you a paycheck? Like, what is the culture like? I always like to ask questions. Another thing that I look for in an agency, if I'm deciding whether or not I want to sign with them or whether or not I'm actually interested in them, is I will go to their Instagram page and see if their models are actually working. If it is a good agency or an active agency, they often post what types of things their models have booked. So they will repost commercials, they will repost photo shoots, they will just be posting what their models are working on. Someone asked, is age still a factor in the industry? Quick answer, unfortunately, yes, and I didn't even realize this until I experienced it myself. Most of my model friends in the industry are like 5, 6, 7, even 10 years older than me, and they're modeling and they're working, they're booked and busy. And so I did not think that age was a major factor in the modeling industry. Granted, I won't say that it's a major factor in the industry, but some people will try to hold it against you. I'm in my early 20s. I am an infant. I'm a baby. I'm a child. Like, I just learned how to walk. And you're telling me like it's gonna be difficult to book me because I'm old? Y'all, this is the first time I had ever heard anything like this, and I was baffled, and I was honestly insecure about my age for the longest time. I think I still have a little bit of that insecurity, even though I know it's not true, but like sometimes you just let things get to you. While I will say it is not as big of a factor as it was back in the day, because back in the day, most agencies preferred signing models like fresh out of high school, so even some in middle school and high school, like 14, 15, just to be able to develop them easily and kind of have better grips on their career and like develop them through the rest of their career. Nowadays, they're more flexible on it. It's not that big of a deal, but some agencies and some clients will try to hold it against you. But you just have to, you know, be confident in your abilities and your skill set, regardless of how old you are, and just go with that. How did you build your confidence and not allow it to affect your performance in auditions, interviews, or on set? Kind of touched on this in part 1, but basically I was super insecure before getting into modeling. I was so shy and like just insecure all around. Modeling was the first thing that made me feel beautiful and made me feel confident about myself. So just continuing to be in the industry, continuing to do photo shoots, continuing to do runway shows, just continued building my confidence, because I was like, dang, I look good. Like, what? You can't tell me nothing. And also my mom played a big part in building my confidence too, because just throughout my entire life, like my mom has been my biggest cheerleader, my biggest hype man. Like, if my head is big, it's literally because of my mom. Like, she gassed me up to the extremes. And when I first started modeling, I used to cry a lot whenever I would get rejected, and she sat down and had to talk with me and was like, hey, like, you need to suck it up, you need to get thicker skin, you need to toughen up. If you continue crying after each of these auditions, I'm not taking you to any auditions. So I knew modeling was something I wanted to do, and I didn't want her to stop taking me auditions. So I stopped crying, I sucked it up, I built tougher skin, and that tough skin in combination with the confidence that I was building while like working on myself and advancing my career as a model just made me feel really confident. And now if I get rejected, which is all the time, like models get rejected all the time, like that's just the lifestyle you're signing up for. But yeah, when I get rejected these days, I just brush it off and I'm like, on to the next opportunity. Like, you really got to say some crazy off the wall stuff to hurt my feelings. Like, it's like like, I don't know, I'm so, like, I wouldn't say that I'm full of myself, but yeah, I'm pretty full of myself in the most humble way possible. All right, finally winding down to the last few questions. I'm so glad you guys took advantage of this, because the last time I tried to do a Q&A, I told you guys to ask me questions and literally it was like crickets. I was like, but y'all always be in my DMs asking hella questions, like now is the opportunity. But you guys really showed up for this one, and I really hope that this video has been helpful. But yeah, winding down to the last few questions. Someone asked, do I follow a strict diet? I think this is the funniest question out of all the questions I've ever been asked, because if you follow me on Instagram, you know the answer to that is absolutely not. You guys, I'm the greediest person. Like, I eat so much, it's ridiculous. Like, I go out to eat all the time, but I think I have kind of a good balance. I've been working on it. It could be better. But when I'm home and not eating out, I literally don't buy junk food. I don't buy snacks. I don't buy candy. I don't buy a lot of sweets. The only things that I purchase are like vegetables, grapes and bananas and strawberries are the only fruit that I buy, and grains like brown rice, cauliflower rice. You guys get the point. So my groceries are very healthy, so that when I'm home, I'm eating healthy for the most part. And when I go out to eat, I'm wilding out, period. Like, there's no boundaries for me. So I'm still working on my dietary balance. I think I have a lot of other model friends that are way more consistent with their diet and eating habits than I am. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. All right, wrapping up with the last question. Someone asked, what do you need to do in preparation to be a model? What you need to do in preparation to be a model is to go back on my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the model and lifestyle playlist on my channel, and watch all of the tips and advice videos I have on modeling. Literally, I lay it out clear as day, start to finish, beginning to end, of how you can start your modeling journey. So if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, if you guys have not checked out my model playlist, go do that. That is my answer. Anyways, if you guys sat through part 1 and 2 of this model Q&A, shout out to you, because I know it was a long AF. But it's okay. I'm glad you guys came with so many questions, and I'm definitely going to be doing this again. I hope this video was helpful. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye! 'Cause I'm not just a pretty girl, I'm more than just a picture. I'm a daughter and a sister.